Do you ever notice how most games start? You open character creation and you choose class, race, spawn point, perks, even your face. Now imagine the same screen, except you don't get to choose anything. You don't even get to hit confirm. Life just slams randomize and drops you into the world. There is a word for this in philosophy. It's called thrownness. The idea is that you're basically thrown into existence, into a body, a family, a culture, a time period, without asking for any of it. And the brutal part is, some of those roles land in your favor, and some land against you. And none of it is fair, because none of it was earned. In games like Elder Scrolls, Dungeons and Dragons, World of Warcraft, you can pick a build that fits how you want to play. You might choose a character with certain passives, a starting location that makes the early game easier, a class that matches your style of play. But real life's the opposite. Real life is you loading into the world, and only after you've spawned, you discover what your stats even are. And here's the key distinction I use with many of the people that I talk with from day to day. They're getting crushed by their self-worth. Your character role is not a reflection of your value, because your character didn't do anything to deserve the role, but it is your job to work with it. Most people carry this hidden software bug. They treat their stats like worth. How pretty they are is how much they're worth, or how popular equals worth. Confident equals worth. Rich equals worth. Perfect family equals worth. But that's like judging the player because their character spawned with different armor. You were a baby once. You had no achievements, no followers, no trophies, and yet your worth was obvious. So the question then becomes, when did you start believing your worth had to be earned by a role you never chose? This is where comparison becomes a poison. Humans don't just compare. We usually compare upwards. We pick a person who looks better, has more, seems happier, and we measure our entire life against their highlight reel. Psychology literally separates this into upward and downward comparisons. Upward comparison often hits us hard in our self-regard. We're comparing to people who are, in our eyes, better than us in some sense. Downward comparison props up our self-regard. It's great for making ourselves feel a little bit, more special than others. And sometimes can work negatively for us too, where we actually feel like we're better than others. But upward comparison has another trick. It hides the full character sheet. When someone's famous, attractive, talented, whatever, you're usually seeing the most visible stat, not the full build. You don't see how they grew up, what they had access to, what they sacrificed, who coached them, and what they're dealing with off screen. And even closer to home, your peers, the people you know. You don't know what role they're playing with. Some people spawn into a safe starting zone. In real life, that's a stable home, good supports, money, a bit of safety. Some people spawn into the kind of zone where just getting through the day is a boss fight itself. Chaos, abuse, neglect, addiction around them, no transport, no stability. And you might never know because they don't wear it on their character model. So if you're comparing your life to someone else's top line stat, you're not doing a fair comparison. What you're doing is bad math. Now here's where this becomes empowering instead of just depressing. Yes, your character role was random. Yes, some parts are unfair. And no, none of that changes your worth. But you're not powerless Your job is to learn your character and fast. What are the strengths? What are the passives that you've been ignoring? What are the weaknesses that you need to manage, not worship? And then you stop trying to play someone else's build. You start learning your character and your build and how to build around your strengths. Here's a rule that cuts through all of the noise. Compete with yourself yesterday. The version of you that existed yesterday. That's who your competition is, not who somebody else is today. If you want a real scoreboard, compare your current character sheet to the same one last year. Are you learning? Are you more disciplined? Are you more stable? More self-aware? Are you more kind? Are you more resilient? And if you've gone backwards, don't instantly shame yourself. Ask a better question. Was the reason I went backwards within my control, or did something hit me that I didn't choose? The amount of times that things come along in life that are just unfair, that take you out, illness is a big one. A lot of people don't choose that. And they're stuck with it nonetheless, and they go backwards as a result of it. Don't go hard on yourself for things outside of your control. If it's within your control, adjust your build. Adjust what you're building around. If it's out of your control, that's not a moral failure. It's the game mechanic that you're currently navigating. It's a new level. You're trying to get through one part of your life. These will come and go, and if you haven't had something happen yet, unfortunately, the chances that you'll come across something are fairly high. So knowing your build and understanding that when something is within your control, you can do something about it. And when it's outside of your control, you don't have to feel bad about it. That is the most important part of this entire video. So here's a quick exercise that you can do today. Write down 3 things that you didn't choose, like your random roll. For some ideas, it could be your height, your weight, your gender, your sporting location, where you grew up or where you live. It could be where you go to school. It could be, any disabilities that you might have. It could be any major abilities you might have. Write down 3 things that you can grind. Now, for those who know what the grind is, this is going to be straightforward. But for those who don't, the grind is those things that you need to do daily that just improve your character over time. It improves your gear. Think of things like sleep, fitness, skill, friendships, eating healthy, learning how to ask for help, learning how to talk to people, getting better at school. Next, write one quest that you're on this month. A small one, a winnable one. Could be a little side quest that you've just started. Could be a mainline quest that you're trying to get back onto. For most of our younger audience, it could be just getting through the last few weeks of school for the year. Could be getting to the end of the term. Could be just getting that one assignment done that's on your mind. Then, the last step is measure progress against you, not someone else's highlight reel. I do this term by term with a lot of the people I take care of. At the start of the term, we reflect on the previous term. Are you doing better or worse? And then we use that term to try and get better. At the end of the term, before holidays, we ask, compared to the start of the term, are you doing better or worse? And then we do exactly that. We go through why. And for some people, they've had stuff outside their control happen for them that they had to deal with. And as a result, they're not doing as good as what they were at the start of the term. On the areas that they can control, most of these people, once they understand this process, just get better. If you get 1% better per day for a whole year, it's not 365% better at the end of a year. It's nearly 3,500 times better. Now, there's some quick math in that. If you're 1% better than today, tomorrow you're at 101%. If you're 1% better than that, the next day you're at 102.1%. Or 0.01%. That accumulates. It's called compound interest. It's how the rich people make their money. So, being better than you a day ago is really, really powerful, just in the course of a single term. Just remember, You didn't choose your character, but you do choose how you play. If this hit home for you, drop a comment. What's one massive perk that you've been ignoring?
Who made this chicken? Who made this chicken? Yes, sir. This is the best chicken I ever had.
Something that you've discounted because you're too busy staring at someone else's stats. What's something special to you that other people might not have? Thanks for your time, and look out for our next video on life as an RPG.